Hi, and welcome to this class on healing sciatica nerve pain. We're going to dive right in. So for today's class, you need access to a wall space and you need a towel. This can be any towel. So if you don't have that already, go ahead and grab that. My name is Andrew, and let's dive into this together. You'll need your towel into a roll. So go ahead and grab your towel, and we're actually going to fold this into thirds. So you'll need to fold this 1/3 and then fold it into a third another way. Once you have it rolled into thirds, then you need to start rolling your towel up. And this is a really useful prop because when you actually use this, both for turning on the inner legs, those muscles, they actually help strengthen the low back, and this allows you to create more lift up out of the joints that are then oftentimes pressing on the sciatic nerve. As well, when we use this underneath the belly, when we go into some back bends, this will allow you to get more breath, more spaciousness around your low back. And this can be really good if a herniated disc is at all in play. So go ahead and make your toy. Set this off to the side. Grab a seat and close your eyes. Start to deepen your breath. And by deepen your breath, I mean reach your breath down towards your sit bones. Press your sit bones down into the floor. And reach your tailbone down. From there, inhale and lift your rib cage up away from your low back. Your low back loves to have this spaciousness. And practice that move again. Tuck your tailbone down so that your sit bones root into the floor beneath you. And then inhale, reach your rib cage up. Reach your back ribs up away from your low back. Now, with your chest still lifted, reach your deep inhale down into your low belly, down towards your sit bones. Really do that right now. So the intent for this class of working with healing sciatica is really about creating this space here within your core, within the lowest part of your core, to start to reconstruct enough strength in your strong legs, your strong glutes, and your core to actually hold an open space around this nerve instead of closing, collapsing, and pinching down around it, which is oftentimes how sitting, prolonged times of sitting, actually then leads to the sciatic pain. So continue throughout our class today to press sit bones down, tuck the tailbone, and then inhale, reach your ribcage up. Open your eyes up for a seated spinal twist. With your legs crossed right where they are, place your left hand onto your right knee and reach your right hand back behind you, fingertips on the floor. Press your sit bones down. Big inhale down into your belly and inhale, keep lifting your ribs up. On exhale, draw your shoulder blades down, bend your elbows, and reach your sternum to the right, just a few inches. In this class, as we move into twists, don't think about going so deep into the twist, but rather feel for that move. Press your sit bones down right now. And then inhale, lift your rib cage up. Feel for creating more space in the low back, instead of having to twist and crunch down around it. Inhale, bring your torso back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Bring your right hand onto left knee and reach left fingertips back behind you. Stay on the fingertips and then press sit bones down. Inhale into low belly, reach your rib cage up. Maintain that lift and exhale, bend your elbows, reach shoulder blades down. Reach your torso to the left. In order to heal from sciatic injuries, you need to be able to glide your breath further down, to be able to accompany you as you reconstruct strength in this area. So as we start getting moving, glide your breath into the areas where you feel that there's maybe a little bit of pinch. It needs that breath, it needs that attention. Inhale, come back to center. Baddha Konasana with Kapalbhati. So bring the soles of your feet together to meet. Your feet can be as far forward or as close to your hips as works for you. Place your hands back behind you. And our pranayama, our breath work for this practice is Kapalbhati. And this is really good because it allows you to actually pump your belly in. And in so doing, this actually creates more lift, more strength, more activation of your core muscles. So this will be very useful when it actually comes time to then creating a lot of more spaciousness around your low back. Place your hands back behind you. Press hands into the ground. Bend elbows slightly to open your chest up. Kapalbhati is like short, sharp, fast exhales through the nose. It sounds like this. So you're pressing your air out on your exhale, pulling your belly in as you do so. We'll practice 30 rounds, so 30 pumps. Let's do this together. Inhale through your nose. Begin to exhale through your nose and go for 30 pumps, pumping your belly in. Go. Close your eyes. Keep lifting your chest. Big inhale. Exhale all of your air out through your mouth. Whoosh. Hold your breath out. Pull your belly in. Lift your ribcage up. Soften your belly. Take a big inhale down into your belly. Keep your chest right where it is. This is a challenge. Now whoosh your air out through your mouth. Big exhale. Keep your chest right where it is. Pull your belly in. Flare your ribs out. Relax your belly. Inhale. Good. So that move is really good to help to start to get some activation all in the area around low back, in the core that actually helps support us where our ribs are not able to support us. Come into shoelace by crossing your left ankle on top of right knee. And another part of working with this intent for today is to work at the right dosage for you. So you want to be able to move into this pose in a way that it works for you, and then you find how much of a dose you want. By that I mean, start to press the outer edge of your left foot into your right thigh. And only press so much as you start to feel that activation move down into your left hip. Find the right dosage of that press, of effort that works for you today. Press your right foot into the ground, flex your toes back, and then point your toes at both feet. This is another move that's good for sciatic. So reach the ball of the foot forward and spread the toes. Twisting shoelace towards the foot. Bring your fingertips down to the ground and start to walk your torso in the direction of the right. Practice that move again. Press sit bones down. Inhale, lift your ribcage up. Exhale, drop shoulder blades down. And feel for leaning your torso back enough so that you feel the right dosage that you're looking for in your left hip. If you're looking to up the dose of feeling, start to walk your hands forward so that your chest, the sternum, starts to move towards the direction of left foot. And slide your breath right where you feel the action. So right down into the spot in your left hip where you really feel it. Continue to press left sit bone down. Don't run away from the feeling. And inhale, glide left side of rib cage up, away from it. Twisting shoelace towards the thigh, walk your hands over to the other side. Breathe deeply as you make those transitions from one side to the other, so that as you move through your day, you actually can use your breath to accompany you through those transitions. As you sit, as you stand back up, as a way to sort of tap into when you need to move yourself back to this practice. And this is a move you can even do from your chair, having one ankle crossed on top of the other thigh. Inhale, bring your torso back to center. Deep breathing to change the cross of your leg. So help the top leg off, place it back down. Breathe deeply to bring your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Point the ball of your foot of both feet forwards and press left foot into the ground, the one on the floor. Now start to find the right dosage for you, pressing the outer edge of right foot down. Root down through your sit bones and inhale, lift your rib cage up. Are you still breathing deeply? Use that concept of dosage to actually stay present with your practice, so that you're not just sitting here in a pose, you are actually actively searching for the right medicinal dose of using this pose to help you. Twisting towards the foot, walk your hands to the left. Aim for that place where the stretch feels like it's getting to where it needs to. Press the right sit bone down and inhale. Telescope the right side of your ribs up away from the right hip. And if you have more space to go, start to move your torso in the direction of the right foot. Still keeping your lowest ribs lifted. Twisting shoelace towards the thigh, walk your hands over to the right. Breathe deeply as you move. Stop when you get to that point where, there's a little something interesting happening down in your hips. Press the floor away and inhale, reach your ribs up. Get skillful at using your positioning of your legs and your chest in these poses, so that you actually make this the most medicinal time for you. Inhale, come back to center. Come out of this pose. Sit in a cross-legged position and watch me for this next pose, which is actually sciatica flossing, but using a wall. So this is another really great move that you can do in just about any posture. But this is something that allows you to start to get movement all throughout the chain of muscles through your leg. So watch me for this, and also have your towel somewhere nearby, because we'll get to that shortly. So watch me for this, and then we'll practice together. For sciatic flossing, you want to lay down on your back and get where you can have the right heel up on the wall. Reposition until you find where this works. From there, big inhale and reach the ball of the foot forwards, contacting the wall. Exhale, flex the toes back. And follow this as sort of a motion pathway so that you start to feel your way slowly into opening up this chain of muscles. And use the wall as a rest. So even if your foot doesn't slide up and down the wall so easily, you have a chance to use the wall to allow some of the muscles in your legs to turn off, particularly the hip flexors. Let's them do a little less work. Let's other things turn on. So this is the move. Go ahead and lay on your back. Come close enough to the wall with your feet in the direction of the wall so that you can then step left foot up the wall. And get where you can press the heel and the ball of the foot into the wall. So you have the foot totally flat. Inhale, press the ball of the foot into the wall. Exhale, flex your toes back and spread your toes out wide. Gently press left heel into the wall. Big inhale down into your low back. Press your low back into the ground as you point the ball of the foot into the wall. Exhale, flex toes back. Keep your heel connected to the wall. Find the right dosage for you. Keep this movement going. Breathe deeply as you flex the toe forward and flex the ball of your foot back. Change sides. Bring your left foot down. Move your right foot up the wall so that the whole of the foot can press into the wall. Inhale, press the ball of the foot into the wall. And exhale, flex the toes back. Keep the heel connected. It's okay if you have to reposition your foot. Inhale, point the ball of your foot forward and notice if you stopped connecting to the ground with your left foot. Press your left foot into the ground too. And exhale, flex right foot back. Press the heel into the wall with enough effort, enough dose that you can feel that energy, that press move all the way into your back. And keep that motion going. Breathe deeply as you move and explore. And if you find anywhere that feels like you need to stay there for an extra moment, please do it. Stay active, stay curious about how you can use this practice to support yourself. Bring your right foot down for glute bridge activation. So place your feet so that your fingertips can just touch the heels, but then move your feet about 1 foot forward and about half a foot to the sides. Relax with your upper body on the ground, arms relax down by your torso, palms facing up. Turn your toes out just a bit. Now press the heels of the foot into the ground. Press the balls of your foot into the ground and start to lift your hips up. Curl your tailbone so that you tuck your pubic bone towards your navel as you come up. Only come up so high as you can still get a big breath moving down into your low back. And exhale, press your heels into the floor. Dig them in. Turn on your strong legs. If you remember just a few moments ago I asked if you still had your foot activated. Sometimes what happens, especially when we're used to sitting all day, is our feet kind of go offline. All of the chains of muscles in our legs go offline, and this is a big part of what then, if we're slumping on top of it, starts to pinch on our sciatic nerve. There's no strength to actually hold up the space, the bones, and the muscles around the joints. Then collapse down. Big inhale into your belly, and exhale, tuck your tailbone up. Keep pressing the floor away as you then reach the back down. Come down slowly and pull your heels towards your low back. Tuck tailbone up and then lengthen so that the whole of your back comes down. Take a a big breath. The next pose is elbow to knee using the wall with a sit bone squeeze. So follow me for this one. We'll practice together. You can leave your arms relaxed down by your sides, but go ahead and pick up your feet and reposition yourself so that your heels, both feet are on the wall and your knees are bent just about 90 degrees. You still want your knees to be just a little closer to the wall than your hips. You don't want your knees to move closer to your torso than your hips. Big inhale into your low back. Hold your breath and press your low back down. Press your right foot into the wall and then reach the left foot up about 45 degrees. Point through the ball of the foot and exhale, pull belly muscles down. Keep your legs where they are and big inhale. Place your left hand onto the left glute and exhale, contract the glute fibers so that you're activating the left leg. Inhale, relax left hand down, bend left knee. Bring the left foot back to the start position. Exhale everything out. Big inhale. Hold your breath at the top of your breath. Keep it held. Press left foot into the wall. Reach the ball of the right foot up the wall. Keep the leg at about 45 degrees. And exhale, press both feet into the wall. Inhale into your low back. Hold your breath. Press your low back into the ground. Keep pressing the wall away with your feet. Bring right hand onto the place where your right glute meets your right hamstrings. And exhale, contract these muscles. Inhale, bend the right leg. Bring it back to the start position. Hold your breath. Press right foot into the wall. And exhale, reach the left foot up the wall. If you feel up to it, flex the left toes back. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale into your low belly. Hold your breath. Keep your legs where they are. Bring left hand onto the space between left glute and left hamstring. Exhale, contract these fibers. Pull belly muscles down. Point through left foot. Inhale, bring left foot back to start position. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Press the feet into the wall. Exhale, reach the right foot up towards the wall, 45 degrees. Press both feet into the wall and flex the right toes back. Huge inhale. Bring your right hand on the space between the right glute and the right thigh. Exhale, contract these muscles and point the right foot. Point through the ball of the foot. Big inhale, come back to start position. Hold your breath. Press the low back down. Press right foot into the wall and exhale, slide left foot up the wall. Reach out through the ball of the foot. Spread your toes. Big inhale, bring left hand onto left glute. And exhale, contract the glute muscle. Continue to reach through the ball of the foot. Big inhale, bring left foot back to start position. Hold the breath. Press the low back into the floor. Exhale, press left foot into the wall, slide right foot up the wall. Spread through the toes. Pull your belly muscles down towards your spine. Relax your face. Those muscles don't need to do this work. Big inhale. Hold your breath. Keep your legs where they are and bring your right hand onto the right glute. Now exhale and contract the right glute. Continue to press low back into the ground. Use the left foot to support this motion. And inhale, come back to the start position. Exhale, lower your feet down to the mat. Take a breather. Continue to direct your breath, washing through your low back so that it gets this attention that it needs. As I said, if you've been sitting a lot, it's likely that this area has not had a lot of attention. And now, if you're starting to feel your sciatic nerve, it's really screaming for it. Give it the quality of attention that you know it deserves right now. Pay attention to your breath moving through your low back. Now it's time to use your towel. So have your towel in a rolled up position, about that wide and about that long, and place your towel right between your thighs. So the base of the roll will go right up towards the pubic bone, and then squeeze your legs in around the length of the towel so that it is providing some space between your legs, that there's something for the inner muscles to kind of grab onto. This is for bridge. Move your heels so that your fingertips are just about touching your heels. Relax your arms down by your torso, palms facing up, and reach your shoulder blades down your back, away from your ears, so that you're also creating length throughout the whole of your spine. Inhale into your low back, and exhale, give the roll a squeeze, lift your hips up. And it's not so much about how high your hips come up here. We're just trying to get some activation, particularly through the inner legs, so that they can continue to support your low back. Inhale, reach your ribs away from your hips. So reach them up towards your chin. Exhale, continue to squeeze onto the roll and press the heels of your feet into the ground. Now that you're getting skilled at using your breath to wash down into your low back, use the remaining breaths in this pose to focus on that area. And use the right dosage, both of squeezing your legs together around the roll and pressing into the ground to find that sweet spot for this therapeutic movement to start to take place. Curl your tailbone up and keep curling your tailbone up the whole way you come down out of this pose. Pull your heels in towards the low back. So it's like you're reaching your knees forward and you're pulling your heels in. Tuck tailbone and start to come all the way down out of this pose. Our next pose is abs with a roll. So leave the roll exactly where it is and bring your feet back onto the wall. Once again, make sure that your knees are not closer to your torso than the height of your hips. The roll is placed in between your thighs, between the pubic bone, and between the leg bones, the leg muscles. Clasp your hands behind your head. This move is a really good move for strengthening the low back. So especially if it comes to healing with sciatica injuries, this is really good, really effective move. In general, for all low back issues. Clasp hands behind the head. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up. Hold your breath. Press your low back down and squeeze the roll between your thighs. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up, an extra layer. Give the roll a squeeze. Inhale, lower your head down. Reach your elbows right up towards the ceiling. Hold your breath. Press the low back down. Press the top of the sacrum into the floor. Squeeze the roll. And exhale, reach your elbows towards your knees. Get your shoulder blades off the ground. Keep squeezing the roll. Inhale, lower your head down. Use your hands to lengthen through the back of your neck. Hold your breath. Press the low back down. Give the roll a squeeze. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up off the mat. Reach your elbows towards your knees. Pull your belly muscles in towards your spine. Relax your facial muscles. Relax your jaw. Inhale, lower head down. Hold the breath. Press the low back down. Give the roll a squeeze. And exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Reach your bottom tips of shoulder blades off the mat. Reach armpits up. Squeeze the roll a second time. Inhale, lower your head down. Hold your breath. Press your low back down. Give the roll a squeeze. And exhale, curl head and shoulders up.
Reach your armpits straight up towards the ceiling. Give the roll another squeeze. Unclench your back teeth. Oh yeah. Inhale, lower head down. Hold your breath. Press the low back down. Give the roll a squeeze between your thighs. Keep that squeeze and exhale. Curl head, shoulders, armpits all the way up. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, lower head down. And exhale, lower your feet down. Close your eyes for a moment. And direct your powerful breath now into your low back. Start to use your breath to soothe this area that may have been screaming out, needing some help. Even if it was just a whisper. Give thanks using your breath that you are actually now attending to the needs of this area. Remove the roll and place that off to the side. Roll off to your left side and then press up with a relaxed neck so that your head comes up last. And then use one hand on left side of the face to prop your head up. And get skilled at coming up in that way so that your neck and shoulders can start to release some of the tension. This release of tension up here can also then travel to help release some of the tension happening in your hips, which sometimes then kind of creates this closing down motion. And guess what that does? That weakens the muscles of the back even more. Our next move is Janu Namaskar. So this is actually like a sun salutation, but practiced on the knees. So come over to your knees, and if you need extra padding for your knees, guess what? Undo the roll and place that right underneath your knees. About 2 layers thick. Get where you can sit on your heels. You can always tuck your toes under. Have the balls of the feet pressing into the ground if that helps. Inhale and reach your arms up. Tuck your tailbone, lift your hips up. Exhale, reach your hips down, reach your torso towards the ground for child's pose. Press your palms into the ground and inhale, reach your torso forward for cow. Reach your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Arch your back so your belly drops down. And exhale, pull your belly muscles in, round your back up towards the ceiling. Cow. Big inhale. Reach your belly down towards the ground. Reach your sit bones up. Child's pose. Exhale, press your torso back to lay down over your thighs. And then reaching arms all the way up. Inhale, reach arms up. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your sit bones. Inhale, continue to lengthen your rib cage up away from your hips. And exhale, lower arms back down. Good. Use this motion to start to feel for that tuck and that lift that we were practicing earlier in the class. So inhale, reach arms up. Reach torso up, tuck tailbone. Down towards the floor. Reach your ribcage up. Exhale, reach arms forward, child's pose. Inhale, cow. Reach your torso forward, reach sit bones up. Exhale, round tailbone down towards the ground, arch your back towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop the belly down, reach sit bones up, look forward. Exhale, child's pose. Press your sit bones back. Inhale, reach arms up, tuck tailbone. And exhale, sit on down. Inhale, reach arms up, tuck tailbone. Continue to reach your rib cage up away from the hips. Activate your glutes, turn them on. Exhale, forward bend, child's pose. Use your core to help support you in that motion. Press your hands into the ground. Move your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Reach sit bones up. Cow. Exhale. Tuck sit bones down for cat. Inhale, drop your belly. Reach sit bones up. Cow. Exhale, child's pose. Sit, hips back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Tuck tailbone forwards. And exhale, bring hands down. In this last round of this salutation, use this to really feel for getting mobility in the movement of your sacrum, movement of your tailbone. Inhale, reach tailbone forwards, and then reach tailbone down. Inhale, reach ribcage up. Exhale, fold forward. Reach your sit bones back, and pull belly muscles in. Cow, inhale, reach your ribcage forward, tuck sit bone down, and then reach sit bones up. Exhale, tuck your sit bones down towards the floor, arch your back. Cow, inhale, reach your belly down, arch your back. Child's pose, exhale, sit hips back. Inhale, reach your arms up, tuck your sit bones, tuck tailbone down. Exhale, pull belly muscles in. Feel for that tuck once again. Tuck the tailbone, and then inhale, reach your ribcage up. Good. And exhale, sit back down. Janu Namaskar with 3 pose vignettes. So, inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, forward bend, child's pose. Inhale into cow. Exhale, round your back, cat. Lunge with hand on knee. Inhale, move your left foot forward between your hands. And on exhale, press your left foot into the ground. Bring your torso up. And bring your hands onto your thigh or closer to the knee. Inhale, reach your rib cage up. Reach your sternum up towards the ceiling. Exhale, feel for tucking your low back down. And inhale, continue to lift the back ribs up away from the low back. As you feel this tucking motion, you should feel a stretch through your right quad. Easy twisting lunge. Bring your right hand down onto the floor, about 2 feet to the right of your left foot. First option here is to keep your left hand on the thigh and use your arms to start to coax your torso open to the left. Exhale, relax your neck. Let go in your neck so you move right ear towards right shoulder. And if that's intense, you can roll your chin down towards the right armpit or even down towards the right thumb. But really, let go in your neck so that you feel a stretch. If you have more to go, you can reach left arm up and start to lean your torso away from your left thigh. Inhale, glide your ribcage forwards, away from your hips. And exhale, feel for reaching your sit bones back 1 or 2 inches. Press down through your feet just enough to feel the right dosage. Especially the left foot here is going to help you get more of a stretch through the left quad. Exhale, bring the top hand down. Pigeon. Walk the left foot over to the right edge of the mat And then drop left thigh down, outer edge down. If you need extra padding, if you need extra space, if this is difficult for you, then grab your towel once again and place that underneath your left sit bone, so that there's more space for the hip. As well, your left foot can be as close to your hips as works for your dosage. If having the back leg straight is also very difficult, bend the knee. Start with your torso up and use that as the starting point to then search for your dosage. So inhale, glide your ribcage forward. And exhale, tuck your sit bones down. Tuck left sit bone down. Then inhale, feel for reaching the back ribs up away from the low back. You can start to move in this pose, hands either moving forward or even off to the right side, until you start to feel like you are getting in this pose where it feels like the right spot. Use this next few breaths to actually actively explore where you can find a spot where there is less struggle. And if you start to go into struggle mode or say like, oh, like this hurts so much or this is so tight, can you release that narrative and just breathe? Stay with the feelings. Press your hands into the floor. Bring your torso back up. Reposition yourself so that you come onto hands and knees. Move any props you may have out of the way. Inhale, arch your belly down, cow. And exhale, sit back into child's pose. You should definitely be able to feel that whatever is going on in the left hip is very different than what's going on in the right. Inhale, reach your arms up, tuck sit bones, telescope the ribs. Reach them up. And exhale, sit down. Inhale, reach arms up, tuck sit bones, squeeze sit bones. Exhale, child's pose, forward bend. In child's pose, I love to tuck my sit bones down so that there's an extra lengthening through the low back. Inhale, cow, reach torso forwards, reach belly down towards the floor, sit bones reaching up. Exhale, round your back, cat. Tuck sit bones down. Curl tailbone down. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. First pose is lunge with hands on thigh. Bring your hands onto the thigh somewhere between the hip and the knee. Press both feet into the ground. And you can notice that I have my left foot tucked here, toes tucked under. You can either have toes tucked under or have the top of the foot on the ground. That's up to you. Activate both feet by pressing the feet into the ground, however you have your feet. And with your front foot, lift and spread your toes. So lift your toes up off the mat and spread your toes out wide. Turn on the nerve endings all the way down through your legs. Exhale, tuck sit bones. Curl your pubic bone towards your navel. Feel the stretch open through the left quad. And use your hands to support you to inhale. Reach your ribs up away from your hips. Easy twisting lunge. Exhale, bring left hand down. First stage is with right hand still on the right thigh. Use both of your arms pressing down into the ground to start to open your sternum up to the right. Next part of this move, tuck tailbone and inhale, start to lean your torso away from the right thigh. Exhale, move left shoulder blade down away from left ear, and then move left ear towards left shoulder. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. And if that's intense, roll your chin down towards left armpit or left thumb. If you have more space to go, reach the right arm up and start to reach the whole sternum, whole torso, right down to your hip away from your right thigh. Spread the bones and the fingers in your right hand. Pigeon. Bring the top hand down and lower down the outer edge of right thigh. If you need extra space, just because you feel like you need that, extra support for the hip, go ahead and place that underneath your right sit bone. Remember, the right foot can be as close to the hips as you need, and if you want to bend left knee, you can as well. Press your feet into the ground, active feet, spread your toes. Turn on those nerve endings so that you start to be able to cultivate more awareness throughout your legs. So that as you are in these sitting positions in your day, or as you maybe move into whichever repetitive motions have started to pinch on these nerves, you start to create more awareness through this practice. Press your hands into the floor and inhale. Telescope your ribs up away from your low back. Your low back loves to have that spaciousness. And exhale. Start to move your hands either forward and to the left. Get curious. Stay aware of feeling and sensation. And meet yourself at a place where it feels like, I can handle this. And maybe on an advanced day, you can go beyond, I can handle this. You can start to say, I needed this. This feels like what I needed today. Continue to breathe deeply. Press your hands into the floor and come on back to all fours. Place your prop off to the side. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. We'll spend a few extra breaths in this child's pose so that now that we've equalized both sides, you can get a little extra feeling, a little extra idea of what's going on in here. And I love using child's pose as well as an opportunity to breathe into the low back. So now that your belly and your front ribs are actually compressed a little bit, relax your neck. Relax your forehead down and breathe deeply into your low back. Because now there's more space for that to be able to be open. Energetically, feel for a softening around your hips. An undoing of the fighting that may be going on in this area. And come back to all fours. And watch me for this next move. You can sit back if you want to watch. This next move is actually half boat with one leg. So for half boat, this is essentially picking up only the legs to come into a boat position. But we'll practice with just one leg and also add sciatic flossing. So for this, you'll want to rest your forehead down on your hands or your forearms. I will not be doing that, just so you can actually hear what I'm saying. So for this move, pick up right leg and inhale, flex toes back. Exhale, point the toes. Tuck tailbone down, inhale, flex the toes. And exhale, point the ball of the foot forward spread through the toes. So it's that motion, it's that flossing motion that we were getting at earlier, but practicing on one side, and then we'll do the other. This is also great because it allows us to strengthen through the low back, getting that tucking of the tailbone, the pubic bone down towards the mat, turning on the glutes, and strengthening through the low back. So let's do this together. Lay down with your belly on the mat, and you'll want to rest your forehead on your palms or onto your forearms. We'll start with the left leg. So rest forehead down. Pick up the left foot just enough that you feel activation through the low back, through the leg. Activation's enough. Tuck your tailbone down and big inhale into your low back. Point through the ball of your foot. And exhale, flex your toes. Tuck tailbone down, inhale, point the ball of your foot forward, spread through your toes. And exhale, flex the toes back. Inhale, tuck tailbone, point through the ball of the foot, spread your toes, and exhale, flex toes back. Lower left leg down. And take a breather to notice what's going on in left leg, left low back. Notice all that's turning on. For me, it almost feels like this area gets more spacious when I do this move. There's more aliveness there. And when you're healing, that's what you need to call in. That's what you need to invoke. So let's do the other leg. Tuck your tailbone down, tuck your pubic bone into the floor, and keep that move, keep that tuck. That helps activate all of the muscles of the pelvic floor and as well the low back and your glutes so that they can support your low back and the hip core in this movement. Pick up the right foot, point through the ball of the foot. Tuck pubic bone down, big inhale, spread your toes, reach through the ball of the foot, reach back. And exhale, flex your toes. Inhale, tuck tailbone down, tuck pubic bone into the floor, reach through the ball of your foot. And exhale, flex toes back. Spread the toes. Inhale, point through the ball of the foot. And exhale, flex toes back. Continue to press down through the pubic bone. Inhale, point through the ball of the foot, reach back through the leg. Exhale, now reach the heel back. Bring the toes, flex. Lower the right foot down, right leg down. Take a big breath down into your low back, soothing this area. Inviting it as it starts to strengthen, to integrate with the rest of your body. The rest of you choosing to strengthen yourself and create more space inside instead of collapsing. Instead of staying stuck in what hurts you. To come out of this pose, bring your hands down onto the floor and press back into all fours. Come back onto hands and knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach your arms up, tuck tailbone, down, reach your ribcage up. And exhale, sit back. Inhale, reach arms up, reach ribs up away from hips. Exhale, child's pose. Pull front ribs in as you come down. Cow, reach your ribcage forward. Reach the belly down. Cat, exhale, curl pubic bone down. pubic bone up towards the navel. And really, the sit bones are tucking down. Inhale, come to a neutral spine. For lunge, back bend with hands on hips. Step the left foot forward, bring it between your hands. And have both knees at a 90-degree angle for this. Bring your hands onto your low back with your thumbs just about on your sacrum, so the very base of your spine. And your fingertips either to the sides or facing up your back. Exhale, use your glutes to tuck your sit bones down, to lengthen your low back downwards. And feel for this motion with your hands. Then inhale, reach your ribcage up. And continue that motion of exhale, tucking down, not moving your hips forward, just moving like the base of your spine down towards the ground. And then doing the opposite motion. Inhale, lifting your ribcage up as you inhale. Glide through that motion over your next few breaths. Balancing twisting lunge. You might need extra padding for your knee. Remember that you have it. Bring your right hand so that fingertips are on the outside of left thigh. So top of the right palm is on left thigh. Tuck sit bones down. Inhale, reach ribcage up. And exhale, use your right hand just to support you as you start to move sternum towards the left. Keep your left leg in the same position it's in. Use your left hand to continue feeling that your sit bones are actually tucking down, your low back that is lengthening down, and then your rib cage, inhale and lift up. If you want an extra move here, inhale, lift your rib cage up, and exhale, contract the right glute. That's a good move. Helps activate this whole chain of muscles that are helping to support you. Exhale, contract, right glute. Inhale, bring your torso back to the center for lounge lunge with a variation. Drop your right hand down to where it was in easy twisting lunge. So just about 2 feet to the right of left foot, then move right hand forward about 1 foot. Bring your left hand to clasp around left shin. From there, tuck toes under of the right foot and start to straighten the right leg. Remember, you're searching for dosage here. So find out how much you can straighten. And if that straightening is not working for you, keep the right knee down. Whichever position you've chosen to be in, inhale, start to glide your ribcage forwards. And on exhale, start to glide the right side of your ribcage down towards the floor. Just enough so you start to feel opening in the right hip. Use the bend of your knee, your right knee, to help you find dosage that gets into the areas in your right hip that need some opening. And exhale, contract the right glute muscles. Inhale, get your huge breath down to the areas that are opening. Remember, it needs that attention. It needs that breath. Place your hands back down on the floor. Come back to all fours. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back to cow. Exhale, cat. Arch your spine up towards the ceiling. Curl pubic bone towards navel. Pull belly muscles in.
Inhale, float your belly full of air down towards the mat. And we'll do the other side now. Move the right foot forward between the hands and get to where both knees are at 90 degrees. Forward lunge back bend, hands on the hips. Bring your thumbs to the base of your spine and really where spine starts to turn into tailbone. Fingertips either pointing up the low back or across the sides of your hips. Use your hands to lengthen through the low back, lengthen down, and inhale, reach your rib cage up. Exhale, use your hands to track the motion of left sit bones. Left sit bone moving down. Lower left bit of spine, low back, reaching down towards the floor. And inhale, reach your rib cage up away from your hips. Active feet. Lift and spread your toes at the front foot. And don't forget that your back foot can still press into the floor. Balancing twisting lunge. Place left hand, palm facing down on top of right thigh. Fingertips around the outside. Inhale, reach your rib cage up. And exhale, start to open your chest out towards the right. Exhale, tuck right glute down. And then inhale, lean your torso back away from right thigh. This move can be really therapeutic for opening up through the left side of the hip, all the way into the core. Use your feet pressing down to find your dosage. Lounge lunge with a variation. Bring left hand down. Wrap right fingertips around right shin. And place your left hand about 1 foot forward from wherever it just came down. Inhale, start to glide your ribs forward, your hips down. And then tuck back toes under. And exhale, start to press into the left foot, maybe left knee. Just enough till you start to find the right dosage of shifting your hips forward, getting into the left hip. You can also experiment with lifting the back knee just enough so you start to feel that activation, that stretch. And when you find that, start to breathe even deeper. Exhale, contract the left glute. Oh, that turns something on. Lower the left knee down. Bring your hands onto the floor. Step into all fours and sit back to watch me for this next pose. This next pose is working with cobra push-ups over a roll and sphinx over a roll. Starting with sphinx. So with your roll, watch me for both of these and then we'll practice together. Roll goes under the belly on the soft part of the tissue, so that it's not pressing on pubic bones and it's not pressing on low ribs. From there, sphinx. For sphinx, elbows are right underneath shoulders. Tuck sit bones, tuck tailbone down. Big inhale into the roll. And that's about all there is to this pose. It just starts to get your breath moving into your low back and into the discs of the low back, particularly because the breath can no longer move forward because the roll is there to stop it. So instead, as you start to balloon your breath, it has to go back. For cobra push-ups over a roll, which is the next move,
hands will be down by your sides, just about the height of your shoulders. And I also like to then move my hands forward about half a hand and to the sides about half a hand. Tuck tailbone down, inhale into the belly, and use hands to reach the ribcage forward. Draw ribcage forward as you exhale. Okay? So let's do this together. Go ahead and grab your roll. Make sure it's rolled up. And place that down onto the mat. Then lay over the roll. With the roll pressing into the soft part of your belly. Bring your elbows just underneath shoulders. Forearms down on the floor. Palms facing down. And close your eyes. Deepen your breath so that it starts to move into the roll. Spread through your toes. Just spread them. You don't have to press your feet down. But press your wrists and your hands into the floor. And reach your shoulders down your back. This is really good for starting to get more breath into the areas that are hurting, into the areas that need more strengthening. Because oftentimes, and actually in order to strengthen, things need to be stretched out just a bit. If the muscles are too tight and too contracted, which oftentimes happens when there's pain, the muscles try and close down around whatever's causing pain. As a defense mechanism, then you actually have it such that those muscles cannot be stretched enough to then contract in a strong and healthy way. Cobra push-ups over the roll. Lay down over the roll. Bring your hands just about to the height of your shoulders on the floor. Now move hands forward about one hand's length and about to the sides about half a hand. Tuck your tailbone down. Tuck pubic bone into the floor. Inhale into your belly. And use your hands to press your torso up just a few inches. Keep your elbows bent and reach shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, draw your chest forward, down over the roll. Keep elbows bent. Keep your shoulders drawing down your back. Inhale into belly. Reach your ribcage up. Tuck sit bones. Tuck tailbone. Exhale. Use your fingertips to really reach your ribcage forward, down over the roll. Tuck your pubic bone down. Inhale into belly. Use your hands to support you to come up. Exhale, bend elbows, reach shoulder blades down, and draw your chest forward, ribs reaching forward, down over the roll. Tuck pubic bone down. Big inhale into belly. Use your hands to support you to come up. Bend elbows, reach shoulder blades down, reach your chest and ribs forwards. Tuck pubic bone down, inhale into the belly. Imagine space being formed in the low back. And exhale, bend elbows, reach shoulder blades down, lengthen over the roll. And rest with left cheek down on the floor. Take a few breaths breathing into the roll now. And at this point in the class, you may already starting to be experiencing some of these benefits. Having dedicated this time, this awareness, this effort into strengthening what needs it the most. Place your hands right by your shoulders and press on back. Watch me for our next move. Next move will require our towel being a little more open. So for this, with the towel, roll it into about fourths
Thirds could work, but I've rolled it here into fourths. For camel on the wall, using a towel. So watch me for this. Go ahead and make your roll. The towel will go just about the height of the low back, so you have some extra support here. Move to the wall so that your knees are right up against the wall. And then your thighs press into the wall. You can tuck the feet under to provide a little extra support, and you're using your arms holding the towel to support the low back. Keep your lowest part of the ribs on the wall, and inhale, glide the ribs up the wall. Use your arms to support yourself using the towel. As you start to lean your upper torso back. But only do so much that you can still inhale and keep your ribs on the wall, the lowest part of the ribs. Get skillful at using the towel to help lengthen up. Another option is to move away from the wall. So you can either practice with the towel on the wall, without the towel on the wall, using your hands supporting low back, feeling for that lifting up of the ribs, or you'll practice away from the wall, supporting yourself with the towel. So find your positioning, either up against the wall or free from the wall. And then, using the towel or not, inhale, reach your ribcage up, and exhale, tuck your sit bones down, reach your hips forwards. Use your strong arms to support the towel or to support your low back. And use the towel really as a way to support a lifting up. This is not about going back. This is about going up. So feel for using this move to create more lift of your rib cage up away from your sit bones. And come on down. Come off the wall if you were on the wall. You'll need your towel off to one side, and the thinner, probably the better for this. Have that nearby and go ahead and lay on your back. Straighten your legs up. It generally feels good once you get to this point of the class that you can go ahead and lay down, because you know you're almost there. Recline hip sequence. Reach the inner arch of the right foot forwards. Keep the leg active. And then start to bring your left knee in towards the chest. You can also point through the balls of the feet for a little bit more of that flossing, flexing toes back. Find the dosage and the positioning of the foot and the feet that works best for you. Inhale and focus on getting more of your breath into your low back. Your arms are just here to suggest your thigh and your knee to move. Really, this move is more about what can be gifted to your low back than about anything else. Back release pose. Go ahead and bend the right foot, right knee. Bring the right foot onto the ground and use your hands to help cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Use your hands behind the right thigh or on the right shin or the right knee to start to reach the ankle towards right armpit. Be in this pose in a way that you can feel the back of your skull lengthening, so that the back of your neck and that the back of your skull is actually on the floor, lengthening towards the wall behind you. Move your deep breath down into your hips. Washing out stuck energy, stuck feelings, and any numbness that may have been started to be generated in your hips. Bring the right foot down and grab on for your towel. Place the towel around the sole of the left foot. And keep the left knee bent. Start to reach the leg up towards the ceiling. Foot right up. From here, you're going to use this pose to help find the right dosage for you. This is a really good move to start to stretch your hamstring, but sometimes your hamstring might be involved in this injury, in creating more pain in the low back. So be gentle here. Activate the right foot. So the foot that's on the ground, press it gently into the ground. Press your low back down. From there, inhale and start to straighten the leg, only until you find a good dosage point for yourself. And as you exhale, you can also feel for pointing through the ball of the foot or flexing toes back. Remember, your left knee can stay bent to any position. You are searching for that feels good place. You can use your hands to either move up the towel or even to reposition the foot somewhere that you feel like you get the right stretch. Spinal twist. Bend the left knee, draw it in towards the chest. And now bring the right knee in towards the chest as well. Drop both knees down over to the right side, hugging the knees pretty close to the armpits. This helps create a twist that is actually moving more through your thoracic spine, through the mid part of your back, and not twisting out of the low back, which can actually contribute to some low back pain. Bring your hands onto left hip crease. And use your hands to actually gently caress this area. I like to press the hip bones down, like in the same direction as my feet. Or rather that the soles of my feet are pointing towards the base of my mat. So it just invites a little bit of opening. And breathe down into that space. Breathe into any twanginess, any pinching, any struggle mode that starts to happen. And energetically, feel for a sensation of release around your low and mid back. To come out of this pose, bring your hands out to either side of you, palms facing down to brace you. And pick first up the left leg, and then the right leg. Straighten out the left leg down onto the floor. Reach through the inner arch of the foot, and then, if you'd like to continue flossing, you can also reach through the ball of the left foot, or flex the toes back. But keep active awareness moving through your left foot, whatever you do. Now bring your hands either onto right knee, right shin, or the thigh. Start reaching the knee towards the chest. Inhale, glide your breath, sweeping down towards your low back. And use that gliding action happening through your back to then invite a little bit more release. It's not about drawing and pulling your knee towards your chest, but letting it come. Next pose is back release.
Slide your left heel against the floor until your left foot comes up closer, left knee's bent. Use your hands to help place your right ankle onto left thigh. And grab onto left thigh with your hands, or left shin, or left knee. Find the right spot to help you work your knee closer towards the chest in a way that is opening, therapeutic for your right hip. With your breath right now, go past your automatic stopping point. Normally there's a point at which we stop the inhale, just because it's where we're used to stopping. Go beyond that point. And with your exhale, also go beyond your normal stopping point. Feel for really pulling your belly in and getting out more air than you're used to getting out. So that when you inhale again, and you go beyond your normal stopping point, you're actually filling up with new and fresh air. You're getting out some of this stuck energy, this stuck air. Place the left foot down on the floor, grab on for your towel, and wrap it around right foot. Start to reach the right foot up towards the ceiling. The right knee can stay bent. And use this motion, either reaching through the ball of the right foot, flexing the toes back, spread the toes, straightening the leg only as much as you feel like you can get into the good spots. Feel for those. Use your arms to support this exploration of where you can actually feel for this stretch. Keep getting your breath past that normal stopping place. Is the left foot active? Press it into the floor too. Bring the right knee back into the chest. Place your towel off to the side. And bring the left knee in. Now, keep your knees hugged towards the chest. Drop both knees to the left. So the knees stay about the height of the armpits. Bring your hands down onto the right hip crease. And use your hands to coax your hip down. And open the low back. That breath that's moving beyond its normal stopping place. Now see what it feels like to get that into these areas that may be tight or clenching. Come out of this pose, bring your hands down onto the floor, palms facing down. Bring the right knee up and then bring the left knee up. If you feel like you need to take any final movements right now, like happy baby or anything else that you feel, please take that. Otherwise, straighten your legs, or if you feel like you have any lower back tension before when you start to straighten your legs, actually keep your knees bent and either keep your knees bent right here, or knock your knees together and step your feet to the sides of your mat. Knees come together. Use this position if you start to feel any tension, any tweakiness in the low back. Otherwise, you can also straighten your legs and lay back, sit back, palms facing up. If you want to close your eyes, cover your eyes with your towel. You can go ahead and place that over your eyes. Shavasana is the final resting pose. And this is especially useful in this practice, so don't skip this. As you start to get warm
through your muscles, as we did in this practice, you've actually started to melt away some of the tension. You've started to create strength around these areas that maybe were going offline, where a little bit of awareness had dropped off because of such habitual movements, like sitting. Be aware of how deep down into your hips it feels like your breath can move. This pose allows for a cooling down of the muscles. And in a way where they are stretched and they are open and they are long. That is why you really need to allow time and space for this, aligning in this open, receptive way. It's very different than getting up from heating your muscles and then going right back to sitting. Because in that way, you're actually prepping the muscles to stay in that position. Feel the softening moving down your inner legs. And sweeping up your low back, all the way to the back of your back ribs. Let go of any tension in your jaw and your lips. And if your mind is getting going, just ask it to quiet down. Stick with the feels good spot you're in. You are welcome to stay here for as long as you like. But if you are ready to get up, move your fingers, your hands and your ankles, your wrists. Bend your knees and bring your feet onto the floor. Roll off onto your right side. Use your hands to press up. Practice coming up with a relaxed neck. Crazy hair. Use your right hand to help your head up. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope this continues to allow you to heal and to move forward, to get out of the patterns that have kept you in pain and move forward in a way that feels right and feels good for you. So thank you so much. Thank you for trusting me for this practice. Remember, my name is Andrew, and I hope to see you again. Ciao.